This is day 3 of my adventure on the Lake Wobegon and Central Lakes trails. It's embarrassingly late. It's 11:15 a.m. I did a lot of laundry last night, and I wanted to make sure things were dry before I stuffed them in a dry bag in a hot, sweaty velomobile. Doing a little off-roading here. Sauk Center is doing a bunch of road repaving. Be a little warmer today, full sun again, and I'll be riding through a lot of really open territory, and having that little bit of extra cooling really is nice. It's going to continue to be primarily uphill to Fergus Falls. There are some spots where I'll have a couple of longer downhill stretches, but it is predominantly an uphill slog. However, the good news is I don't have that overpowering headwind today. This is a proper hill by railroad standards. When you can't see the trail that far in front of you, that counts as a hill. That'll be wickedly fast on the way back. Grasshopper invasion! It's like the Dust Bowl revisited. I've been in the midst of a downhill section, which means it'll be uphill on the way back. But it was nice to cruise and see what the ride back could be like. The answer is very nice. This section of trail is pretty awful. I don't think anybody ever rides here with the grass coming up from the cracks and the hordes of grasshoppers. I'd probably be better off on the road right now, but my speed on this uphill is slow, 11 to 12 miles an hour, while being pelted by grasshoppers. But it sure will be fast on the way back. This section is almost feels like riding through the desert with a trail full of tumbleweeds or something. It's very adventurous, and I have thought more than once that maybe I'd be better off on the road. This is where the gearing that I have back in the rear of the cassette becomes a problem. It has cruising gears for when you're running, 15 to 25 or 30 miles an hour, but when you're going 10 to 12, there's not a perfect gear. So I think when I get back, this cassette will go bye-bye, and I'll put a traditional 9-speed in the back. I'm just coming into West Union, and I can only hope that at least in town the trail won't be full of weeds and grasshoppers. Oh, the grasshoppers are terrible. I gotta come back. It's like dodge a bush. I've not seen a single soul on the trail, and I can see why. I'm in a little park here in West Union, and it appears they have water and an outhouse. So, let's partake. I am now leaving West Union. There are cows over there. I remember these from the other time that I was through here. It's a curious little place. Classic farm town. I just saw another cyclist on the trail, and I see one, well, this one seems to be a walker actually. So there are other people on the trail, probably just locals, which there out here aren't all that many of. But let's see if the trail gets any better here. Trail conditions are definitely not improving. I'm outside of West Union now, a couple miles, and there's still a lot of cracks. The grass has been mowed and all over the trail. There's the hordes of grasshoppers. There's been some flatter and more downhill sections, which is nice, because then at least for a while you feel like you're cruising. But for the most part, this section is seems to be pretty much abandoned. I don't know if this is a farmer in his field up ahead, or if it's the idiots blowing grass onto the trail. But I can see a machine of some sort up ahead. And I bet it's the mower. He needs to mow the trail itself, not blow grass onto it. Yes, indeed, this is the person mowing and blowing grass all over the trail. So, once I get ahead of him, I won't have to at least ride through freshly mowed grass, but he's gonna have to get out of the way here. Regrettably, I don't think he would have heard me had I yelled at him to express my dismay that he's mowing the edge of the trail and not the middle. The middle's what needs it. And I gotta come back this way. Nice new bridge. I saw a store that said Osakis liquor, which means I may be entering now Osakis, where there's an enormous lake. I don't recall the order of the towns in this section, but I've hit a fairly fast section of trail, and my average speed is up over 14 miles an hour now. Yes, there's the population sign. I am in Osakis, and this is how far I've ridden in the past. So everything beyond here is going to be new. So not to be outdone by West Union, here there's a pig and a tractor and 2 cows. Just in case you weren't sure what kind of country we're in farm country, and down there is the lake. And as much as I'm sure you would love to see scenic Lake Osakis, I am just not in the mood. I want to get to Fergus Falls. So you'll have to do with this footage of grain silos and, oddly enough, condominiums. Good to know too, there's a bicycle repair stand here. And there's, oh heck, it's so close. But it's down a hill, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just pull here and let you see lovely Lake Osakis. And then I'll turn around. Alright, I am now on the Central Lakes Trail. So trail conditions may alter from here depending on whether the Lake Wobegon or Central Lakes Trail, there's only one of them, came first. Definitely the section I was on appears to be either the least used or the oldest. And I don't really know which way this trail was assembled in, because normally they're not going to go and just throw out 80 miles of trail all at once. Unfortunately, it's not all going to be wooded like this. If it was, of course, it would be a very pleasant ride. However, we're still going through town here, so it's going to be better maintained. Another little gazebo here along the trail. Yes, indeed, Granny Gear was the right choice. My Garmin is slow to register gradient, but I can tell that my legs are not what they were at the beginning of the trip. Okay. Well, that experience is over, and I can look forward to that on the way back. So, this section of trail, the Central Lakes, apparently passes through or by, well, not through, I'm not a boat, I'm a bicycle, but apparently passes a whole bunch of lakes. So supposedly it's more scenic, and after the last hour of riding, that would be nice. Definitely one of the promised downhills. This is fun. This is how my ride home could be. Watch the trail, there's some rough spots. This is a lengthy downhill, which means on the way back a lengthy uphill. But that's okay, because I think most of the way back will be down, not up. Nelson. This is Nelson. fidgetingburg of Nelson. Big enough to have houses. And that's about it. Oh, this biker thinks he's gonna catch me up. I can't let that happen. I gotta leave him in the dust. Man, he's hauling. How is he keeping up with me? He's not even wearing biking shoes. I can't shake him. This is annoying me. His legs are probably fresher. I've been passed. The guy in the red shirt conversed with me, and now he has left me in the dust. He's got to be extremely fit. So I think I might be in Alexandria. Yes, there's a sign. And this is my most likely place to get lunch. It's a nice lake here. So I'm gonna have to halt my westward progress, get some food, see if I can't find maybe some Gatorade. I am on a detour that may be mildly ill-advised but scenic to a subway. I think I will not maybe come back this way. The trail seems a little bumpy. Like that. Oh! Tree roots. But it is scenic. Probably better as a walking trail rather than a biking trail. Hope I don't have to go up a hill at the end of this. It's quite tremendously curvy as well. Supposedly, where this little bit of trail ends, there's a Subway and a Dairy Queen. The Dairy Queen I'm not so interested in, but the Subway seems appealing. This is rather a bit rustic. Ooh. Oh! Oh, that's a no. Yeah, that's a no. Okay. This is an attractive little park area. And apparently there's a little trail down here. Whoa! They might want to fix that part of the trail. Lake Agnes. This is Lake Agnes. Trail's a little rough, but it is nice scenery. Oh, and a little hill. My legs are still on lunch break. I don't know if I can get these cyclists past or not. Hello. I may regret this because there may be a hill, more than this hill, that I have to contend with. Maybe not. I guess I'm up at road height here. And with that, I'm back on the Lake Wobegon Trail. Well, sorry, no, Central Lakes. I'm on the Central Lakes Trail, leaving Alexandria. I think this might be the old Alexandria Depot. Would have been a pretty scenic train stop with Lake Agnes on one side. So it's 2:45 p.m. Not sure what lake that is, if it's the same or not. It's 2:45 p.m. and I'm finally leaving Alexandria. My dad says it's going to be much more downhill between here and Fergus Falls. Resort country. This is Lake Brophy Park. There's a huge playground back there, and they're building I don't know what here. Restrooms over there. Scenic lakes. People out on their jet skis. Here. Come here, kitty kitty. Come here, the big bad velomobile won't bite. Come here. Don't act like you don't want it. You know you want petted. Come here, kitty. Come on. Come on. Come here, baby. Come on. If you were Johann or Ludwig, my kitties, you'd be right here. Come here, baby. At the risk of irony, that cat encounter was right on the outskirts of the town of Garfield. I am now in the town of Garfield. At home I have my two own little Garfields. My cats, Counts Ludwig and Johann von Katzenelnbogen, which is German for cat's elbows. You can always tell when you're in a town because there's great big grain silos. That seems to be a requirement here. I'm sure they've been here since the day of the train line. This guy has honked at me earlier. I think he wants to talk. How you doing?
Hey, pretty good. That looks so cool. Can I take a picture of it?
Yeah.
That is so cool. Did you make that or?
No, it was originally made in the Netherlands.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I wish I could have one of those.
Yeah, you can buy them and get them imported to the U.S.
Oh, wow. Cool.
It's a little toastier than riding your moped, though.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'll stick the moped.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, that is so cool.
Have a good one.
Yep.
I have made a decision. I am turning around, and I picked a terrible place to do it, too. And I am going back. Why am I abandoning ship? 30 miles from Fergus Falls. Well, I'm bored. I'm bored. It's hot here in the sun. I'm tired of going uphill. Although outside Brandon, it does look like that's where some downhill starts. And that lasts for a while. Then there's another segment that goes uphill. And then finally a final downhill into Fergus Falls. And while the downhill sections would be nice, the uphills aren't a whole lot of fun. I should have geared down before I did this too. So, anyway, usually in my trips, I end up abandoning plans somewhere along the way. And I'm not bothered by that. Because it's a vacation. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be flexible. And so, when you've had enough, you go home. The camping at Fergus Falls is pretty primitive, and I think it'd be a step up from the horrible camping in Clearwater, but it's not going to have a nice shower like I had tonight or last night. So the farther I go, the bumpier the trail is getting as well, and that has also very much contributed to my decision to turn around. I just had a very fortuitous meeting with a gentleman on a recumbent trike. We were talking about where I was riding to, and I mentioned that I had turned around near Brandon, and he said, "Oh, it's a good thing you did that, because the trail after that is so rough, it's like washboard surface." So even if I had made it into Brandon, I think I would have abandoned shortly after that, because as I've been noting, the trail has been getting rougher and rougher the further I go. I'm into some very appealing downhills here. Not like downhills around my house or anything, but just enough to get a good head of steam going. And a very, very nice breeze, which is extra important because it really is quite toasty. I have returned to the town of Alexandria, going past again the train depot that I told you about not all that long ago. I am cruising with minimal effort at much more appealing speeds. And here is, I think this must be Sven the Viking. That's probably not his real name, but he's over at that nice little trail side stop. And there's a runes museum next door. I'm not sure what it is all about. Alexandria says something about the birthplace of the country or something. I don't know. I'm sure my dad can tell me. He grew up in Sauk Center. presumably knows the history. Okay, I just tried to choke myself. Every once in a while, I drink, and then I try to breathe in at the same time. Fear not, I lived through the experience. I also gave myself a nice little bath. Anyway, I will continue to work on breathing and update in a little bit. This section of trail east of Nelson leaves something to be desired. It's pretty rough, and I'm not even to the tumbleweed section yet. That's something to look forward to. I also just inhaled a bug. Alright, so Lake Osakis. I guess I grabbed the wrong SD card. I thought I grabbed one that had space left in it, but apparently not. So anyway, you got 11 minutes of footage until Sauk Center. But it's 14 miles back, according to Google. So, hoping to do that in under an hour. This should be West Union. I believe. Yes, there are the cows and the piglet or two, and the restrooms and the water pump and the swings. Yeah. So next town is Sauk Center. I'm playing dodge and tumbleweed at high speed. 22 miles an hour I'm doing this. I forgot about this uphill, but I can confirm that the trash part of the trail is the part in the next county over. And I think the guy I talked to that handles communications for the trail said that's Todd County. And yeah, they've got some work to do on their trail section. So I'm just making my way up this hill. Oh, at 15 miles an hour. I guess I'm not as slow as I thought. I am back in Sauk Center, and I arrived at 6:26 p.m., so about 6:30 p.m. By the time I pull into the campsite, it'll be around 75 miles that I did today, and my average speed is up to 14.7. It was, I don't know, 13 or less when I turned around, so that should tell you how much faster it is going the opposite direction. I am going to go first and get some vegetarian enchiladas at El Mezcal restaurant, and then I'll go to the campsite, save myself the walk.